Hello amigos, ¿cómo están? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the absolute chaotic game between Chivas and Toluca. A game that we ended up winning 3-2. Everyone should know about that by now. If you didn't, sorry. But yeah, it was absolute chaos. The first 10 minutes were just chaotic as being at home as well, which is a massive advantage for us. I think we have to be winning our home games. Before this game, Gago got 3 games without a win, 2 draws and a loss. So you kind of wanted him to kind of get a win. I think for him personally, getting a win would be really good, and obviously for the team as well. And we managed to do it this game, which is great at home as well in front of the home fans. And also the Toluca team that's taken Alexis Vega off our hands. Yeah, really chaotic game. The first 10 minutes, like I said, was just absolute chaos. Beltran scoring literally the first touch of the game, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's a record for the fastest goal in the league, but it should be up there. I mean, it was literally like 20, 30 seconds. Brilliant goal as well, really well worked. But then we go and concede in the 7th minute against Marcel Ruiz, who I would have at Chivas. I think a lot of other players, other fans would have him at Chivas as well. Maybe even Europe. I think he's good enough to be, thinking about Europe. But yeah, it was chaotic. The rest of and then even in the second, even at the end of the first half, that was chaotic as well. Pavel Perez scored a really good goal, and then we conceded again a few minutes later. It's like, what the hell's going on? So going 2-2 in this half time was just absolute chaos. And then obviously, they get a goal and you think, great, they're going to lose again, this isn't good. Didn't look good for Gago for a little while. But then who else? Ricardo Marin, who, he's a bit under the spotlight at the moment. He's been injured for most of this beginning of the season, so I think this is his first appearance this season. So it was great coming off the bench and he gets a really, really good goal, which wins us the game eventually, which is great. Everyone's like, well, we've got Chicharito in now, JJ Macias as well. JJ didn't feature in this game. I don't think he's injured. I did ask because I'm like, well, why did I miss that? Why is he not in the team at least? Not even on the bench. People say, well, they're probably just easing him back in. He's coming off a serious injury like Chicharito is, so maybe he just wanted to be a rest, maybe he felt ill, I don't know. But at the end of the day, JJ didn't play. We didn't really start off the game with a recognised striker. Kate Cow came in and played striker for a little while. For me, that's not his position. That's one of the things we learned from this game is that Kate Cow is not a striker. Should never be playing there. Stick him out on the left. And he did play in the left or on the wings, I think on both wings actually for a little while in the second half. And I thought he had a really good second half. He ended up coming off for Marin. So I'm not too mad about it because Marin obviously got the winning goal. But I think Keiko had a decent second half. I felt a bit sorry for him that he was the one that came off. I think Alvarado should have come off. Pierre hasn't had a really good game, or even a really good season for us so far. But maybe he's going to improve with the game time. Obviously, Gago is relying on him quite heavily. I still don't know when Chicharito is back, by the way. I don't know when he's going to make his first appearance for the club. But he was in the stands. There's videos of him celebrating Marin's goal in particular. And even in the locker room afterwards, they had an embrace. And you can just tell one of the reasons why Chicharito has been signed is because he uplifts the rest of the team. He's almost like a secondary coach in a bit of a weird way, and maybe a counsellor as well. We saw him, encouraging some of the younger players who kind of didn't have a good game. Castillo didn't really have a great game. Really, really young backline, by the way. Chavez, Castillo, Tiba as well, who ended up getting injured. He had a fracture as well, so he's had a surgery for that, so he's probably not going to be playing for us for a little while. But really, really young backline. Rangel in goal, I thought, okay, he let 2 goals in, but, especially the first goal was definitely not his fault. It's kind of a weird thing where you can look at a goalkeeper who's conceded some goals, and we've conceded goals pretty much every single game. But you can just tell that the goalkeeper's still playing well. I think he's done well. I don't think he's made any kind of individual mistakes. I think our mistakes has come from the midfield and the defence, and maybe in particular the centre backs. And he's been let down by them. I don't think he's been a bit like Wacho, where Wacho would make a mistake. So really good, really happy with that. Rangel's getting minutes. Castillo, I think, may not start. I kind of want to see Moto start our games. I don't know why he hasn't been starting, but um, Castillo, I think, is going to improve. Chavez as well, he's going to improve. He was a little bit out of his depth this game. But you can tell, I mean, they're all like 19, 20 years old, apart from Michael, I think it's like 23, I think. But they're all like really young. So the downside of that is that, they lose their heads a little bit. They're a little bit more reckless, maybe, a little bit indisciplined, whatever. That's the kind of stuff that comes with age and experience. So, um, yeah, they're really good to see Padilla come off the bench as well. Finally, like, just bring Padilla off the bench for God's sake. I think he did alright. He didn't have much time, to be honest. But I think he's part of the build-up play for the third goal, which is great. Hopefully he gets more minutes and maybe even gets to start. I would start Kekau and Padilla next game, in my opinion. I think Piojo's had enough chances so far this season, hasn't done well, in my opinion. I love Piojo, and he's an outstanding player. But if a player's not doing well after 4 games, get someone else in. Padilla, I think, deserves to start. He had a really, really good season last season, and I think he deserves it. So he deserves a chance anyway. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to my friend about it. He's like, we need experience and players in their prime now, and I'm like, yeah, but the downside is we're not going to be able to afford many of those players. So what we can do is bring our youth players who have done outstandingly. I would say Chivas has the best youth system and youth team in the country now at the moment anyway, at least last season, and make the most of it. Some of those players deserve a chance to go into this first team and have a chance there. I mean, admittedly, I thought those players were going to be the more attacking players. We've got a lot more defensive players that are super young. Chavez, for example, is the main example, I think. There is a couple more attackers, coming off the bench and stuff, but we've got a young backline now, which is great. In my opinion, I'm happy with that. Our backline hasn't been that great for a few years, so I'd rather continue that, but with a young backline that can improve over time. Chavez is going to be an outstanding player in particular. I think Castillo's still got a little bit of a question mark over him, but Chavez, I love Chavez. If him and Rangel can keep playing, if we can keep conceding goals, I don't care in that sense, because I know that these are going to be a couple of really great players in the future. So it's about time Chivas started making and creating their own players again. We tried doing the Galactico thing, it didn't work out. Let's try, doing Man United's class of 1992 or whatever, or do the Barcelona La Masia thing where you just make your own players. So GAGO'S, one of the good things about GAGO'S, he's been doing that. He's been giving youth a chance. Still blatantly doesn't know his best team yet. He's still experimenting. The fact that Kate Cow's in striker for most of the first half tells you that he's not quite sure yet. He hasn't been given that much time for like a pre-season type thing. But that will come. He by now, going into the 5th game, he should have much more of an idea of what his best team is now. And hopefully Marin's healthy now and he can start the next game. I'll have JJ on the bench. I think JJ needs to just come off the bench and face some tired defenders, and hopefully that helps him get a goal or two. So really good goal, really good goals, should I say, really good win. Gets us a little bit higher up the table. And hopefully we get to have a really good result against San Luis away from home. I think that's Sunday night local time. So hopefully we can get a decent result there and get up the pitch a little bit, get more younger players more time and more experience. And I'm quite happy at the moment. It was always going to be a transitional period. There was always going to be a massive question mark over Gago and some of these younger players. There's been a lot more younger players integrated into the first team that are starting regular games for us than I thought there was going to be. So I'm happy with it, to be honest with you. We just have to endure a little bit of a tough start, and hopefully we can improve each game and get to Ligia again, because that's obviously the main result for any team in Liga MX. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the goals and the results. So let me know in the comments what you thought. Tiba being injured is a bit of a blow for me, in my opinion. I know some people don't like him, but I think it's a bit of a blow. Um, Let me know in the comments as well about Padilla and all the younger players. Is there a younger player that I've missed out that you think deserves a mention? Let me know and we'll talk about it. And yeah, I'll see you in a few days. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you probably Monday about the Atletico San Luis game. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend, like I said, and I'll see you guys soon. Adios.